Good morning, everyone. Am I audible? So welcome everyone to the AWS training. So we will be starting a batch today for AWS Solutions Architect Associate. And we will be taking the first topic of the day. Just a moment, let me share my screen. Is my screen visible to everyone? Good morning, everyone. And welcome to AWS Solution Architect Training. Myself, Nighat Naz Ansari. And I am an AWS authorized instructor. So if these are the details of the course, if you want to download the course content, then you can scan the QR code on the right-hand side. And if you want to register for the session, then you can scan the QR code on the left-hand side. And for any support issue, any problem that you are facing, you can connect to the support team of Logic Labs Technology. And these are the numbers, these are the details. And please, if you are interested in this course, join the WhatsApp group for this session. And here, you will be getting 5 sessions free of cost, but 6 will be only for the registered candidates. You will be getting all the session recordings and notes on the LMS. And you can connect to the support team of Logic Tech Lab using the email, or you can call on any of the support number. Let me give a brief introduction to myself. So I have these credentials of AWS, which I have earned. I am 3 times AWS certified cloud practitioner, solutions architect associate, and solutions architect professional. I am AWS authorized instructor, AWS Restart accredited instructor, and I have earned these learning batches as well by completing various courses on Skill Builder. So this is the content of the course. So let me give you a quick overview which topics I'll be going to cover. So first topic is the AWS overview that I'll be going to cover today. Second is compute. We'll be talking about EC2, load balancer, and auto scaling in compute category. Then storage service, we'll be talking about S3, EBS, and EFS. In networking and content delivery, I'll be talking about VPC and its component and CloudFront. Security, identity, and compliance, I'll be covering IAM service in detail. Then databases, we'll be talking about RDS, Relational Database Service, NoSQL database, that is DynamoDB, and how to install database on EC2 instance. Then under monitoring section, I'll be covering CloudWatch, CloudTray. Then I'll be taking up serverless portfolio of AWS as well. In that, I'll be covering Lambda, SNS, and SQS. In automation, we'll be talking about CloudFormation and container services. We'll be talking about what are microservices and containers and how to deploy applications through containers in AWS using ECS and directly on EC2 instance. So this is the content of the course. Duration is 4 weeks. So let us start AWS overview in detail. Now I keep my sessions very much interactive. I don't go through slides very often. I use my whiteboard, but definitely you will be getting PPTs as notes. So let us talk about what is cloud computing. So anyone having any idea? Are you using any cloud services in your day-to-day life? You can use your chat box. So let us talk about. Yes, Aditya, very good. Google Drive. It is coming under storage. Anyone? Are you using Netflix, all of you? Swiggy? So what are these? These are also cloud-based applications, and these two are running in AWS cloud. A lot of services are there that you are using as a cloud service. Your mail server is based on cloud. You can use databases on cloud. You can use virtual computers from cloud. So to understand what is cloud computing, let me draw the analogy between the natural cloud and the technical cloud. Now I want your response. What all things are present in natural cloud? What all things are present here? What you find in natural cloud? What should I write here? Yes, we have air, we have water vapor in the form of droplets, condensed form of the water vapor. Then we have dust particles, we have ions, etc., etc. In technical cloud also we have some resources. So what we have in technical cloud, similar to your natural cloud, here we have IT resources. Here we have IT resources. And what are these IT resources? I can use any compute device, any computer I can use. Then I can use databases. It is storing storage devices. We have networking equipments here. We have various other applications. So all these IT resources are present in the technical cloud. Now what natural cloud is giving us, what this natural cloud is providing us? This natural cloud is providing us rain. Similarly, how we are what the technical cloud is providing us? Technical cloud is providing us these IT resources. So it is delivering us the IT resources. So what is cloud computing? It is the delivery of IT resources. But why cloud is delivering us these resources? Because we are demanding for it. We are requesting for it. So it is on-demand delivery. It is like I'm ordering a pizza from Domino's app. So placing an order for the pizza, it is demand. You are demanding for that resource And when it is getting delivered at your doorstep, it is the delivery. And why it is getting delivered at your place? Because you have demanded for it. So it is on-demand delivery of these IT resources, but in the form of software. You are not getting any hardware format. You are getting everything in the form of software. And you are getting these things via the internet. So you are connected with your technical cloud via the internet. The medium is internet. So this is the definition of cloud computing. What is cloud computing? It is on-demand delivery of what? Of the resources contained in this cloud. It is the on-demand delivery of IT resources, and resources contain these things which I have mentioned. On-demand delivery of IT resources through the internet. And you have to pay for the resources that you are consuming. So if you are placing the order for one pizza, you have to pay only the price for one pizza. If you are placing the order for one pizza and one burger, then you have to pay the cost. You have to make the payment for both the resources. So how much you are demanding, how much you are consuming, you have to pay only for this thing. So this type of payment is known as pay as you go. So with pay as you go model, I hope the definition of cloud computing is clear to everyone. It is the on-demand delivery of IT resources, and these are the IT resources. Your compute resources, databases, storage, networking equipments, and various other applications. And how these resources are getting delivered to you through the internet with pay-as-you-go model. But you can use any hardware, you can use any laptop, any computer, any device. You can demand for these resources anytime, anywhere, from anywhere. So the resources will be getting delivered to you through the internet. So device can be anything, but it should have internet connectivity. Anytime from anywhere, you can demand for these resources. So if you are placing the order for pizza from your friend's mobile phone, then you will be able to place the order if the mobile phone is having the internet connectivity, and it should have the Domino's app downloaded. So this is the definition of cloud computing. But why the companies are moving towards this cloud computing? Why it is getting so much popular for the last decade, and nowadays also it is very popular. So what is making this cloud computing trending, and why the companies are running after these resources? So we have the definition, we have the advantages of cloud computing. But before moving to the advantages, can I get your responses whether you have understood this definition and the comparison between natural cloud and the technical cloud? Oh, great. Thank you for your responses. Now let us talk about, yes, Kushagra, any query, any doubt? Okay. So let us move towards advantages of cloud computing. So there are 6 advantages of AWS or cloud computing. Let me list those. So the first advantage is trade capital expense versus trade capital expense for variable expenses. Trade capital expense with variable expenses. Then second is go global in minutes. Third point is stop guessing capacity. Fourth point is cost saving, or stop running and maintaining your data center. Fifth is speed and agility. Sixth is massive economies of scale. So these are the 6 basic advantages of using AWS Cloud. Let me explain you what do you mean by the first point, trade capital expenses with variable expense. So what is capital expense and what is variable expense? Suppose if I want to purchase a house, a normal house, can anyone give me a rough estimate how much I need to pay if I need to purchase a normal house, 2 BHK? Can anyone give me the rough estimate? It is moving in lakhs, right? Let me take the range 40 to 70 lakhs, depending upon the area, right? Depending upon the location. So here, when I am purchasing any resource, I need to invest first. I need to make this fixed capital as the upfront payment. Upfront means I need to pay in advance. Then I can take the possession of the house. So how I can get the possession of this house? I can get possession of the house once I clear the payment. So I need to first make the investment. So this is the fixed investment. This is the fixed investment that I have to make in order to get the possession of the house. And I need to make the payment in advance. So first, this is known as the upfront payment. So I need to make the payment first and then get the possession later. So what is this payment that you are investing while purchasing the item before taking the possession of it, before using it? So it is nothing but the capital expense. It is nothing but the capital expense. So here you are making expenditure in order to purchase a commodity, in order to purchase an item. So you need to invest a huge amount of capital before taking the possession. So this is the upfront payment. And what is variable expense? Variable expense means you are taking the house on rent. Suppose I need to take the house on rent for 1 year. Can anyone tell me whether the cost will be more than this range or less than this range? The cost will be more than 40 lakhs or less than 40 lakhs if I need to take the house on rent for 1 year. Praveen says it is less. Aditya says less. Inspire yourself. I don't know your name. Sorry. Richard says less. Yes. So you need to pay less amount. So what you are doing, you are using the resource up to a certain duration and you have to pay less amount. If you are taking the resource on rent for 1 year, you need to pay for 1 year. If you are taking the resource on rent for 1 day, you have to pay for 1 day. If you're taking the resource for 3 months, then you need to pay the rent for 3 months. Right? So what is this? This is the variable expense. Variable expense means because the payment is dependent on your consumption, on the duration of your, for the duration of your consumption. So it is known as variable expense because here the cost is not fixed. The payment is not fixed. It is depending upon the number of days you are taking the house on rent. And with cloud, you don't have to make the upfront payment. If you want to use the resource first, and make the payment later, then it is also possible. So we call this as no upfront. We are not making any payment in advance. This is known as no upfront. First use the resource and then make the payment afterwards, depending upon your consumption. So in cloud, we are taking the resources on rent. We don't own these resources. We are using these resources. And when our work is done, we are giving the resource back to the cloud service provider, such as AWS. So no concept of capital expense. We are going with variable expense. So what we are doing, we are converting our capital expense to variable expense. So we are trading it. And this is cost effective. So rather than purchasing a resource, which is very costly, very expensive, we are taking the resources on rent, let our work done, and then give the resource back to the company, back to the owner. So this is the advantage, which is very much used by the companies which are having lack of funds, which are not having enough funds to purchase their own hardware, own resources. They are taking the resources on rent from the cloud service providers, and AWS is one of the cloud service providers. I hope this advantage is clear to everyone. Is this advantage clear to everyone? Let us move to the, thank you all for sending your response. Now let us move on to the next advantage. So next advantage is go global in minutes. So what do you mean by go global in minutes? Suppose currently I am in India. So my location is here, and I want to store my data, suppose in one of the data centers on one of the server running in US. So I can connect to data center, which is running in US. I can connect easily and I can store my data here. So I can connect to any global location, any data center which is running globally, not present at my location, within minutes. So I can connect to the data center which is running in US. I can connect to the data center which is running in London. I can connect to data center which is running in Sydney. So within minutes, I can connect to the data centers of different locations all around the world. Worldwide, I can connect. So this is go global in minutes. I can connect to any region outside my location. And this I'll be showing you practically that how you connect to the global locations within minutes, within seconds. You can switch your region very easily. Next is stop guessing capacity. So what do you mean by guessing capacity? Let me take a simple example. So you are feeling very hungry and you have gone to the pizza outlet, and here you ordered 2 pizzas. So you ordered 2 pizza because you are feeling very hungry. So you provisioned, when you place the order, we say you provisioned 2 pizzas. It is same as order. But after consuming this pizza, your hunger is satisfied. So you have used only one resource. So this is gone, and the other pizza is still there, but you are not able to eat it because your hunger is satisfied. So it is there. So how many pizzas you have consumed? 1 pizza. How many pizza you have ordered? 2. So you made the payment for 2 pizza. You paid for 2 pizza, but you have used only one. So one resources is going waste. So this is known as overestimation. This is known as overestimation. You ordered more resources, but your requirement is for lesser number of resources. So you required only how many resources? One pizza. And for how many resources you are paying? You are paying for two. So you provisioned more, but your requirement is of less resource. So you are paying extra for second pizza. So this is known as overestimation. Is overestimation clear to everyone? So when you are purchasing hardware, you have this kind of problem. Suppose you require two computers. So you order two computers, but you require only one. The project that you are involved in, it requires only one compute resource, but you estimated that you require two computers and you purchase two. So you are using one and other computer is going waste. You are not getting any revenue generated from second computer. Next is underestimation. So underestimation, that you are feeling very hungry. So you ordered one pizza. So you ordered or provisioned one pizza. So after consuming this, you are still feeling hungry. You are still hungry. So what you will be doing in this case? What you will be doing in this case? After eating the pizza that you have ordered, you are still feeling hungry. So what step will you take? You will order another one. Yes, Praveen. So you will have to order another one. So this is the another pizza that you have ordered. So you ordered initially one. So how many pizzas you have ordered? One pizza. And how many pizza you required? So your requirement is of for the two pizzas. So you ordered less. You ordered less, but you require more. So this kind of problem is known as underestimation. But with AWS, it says you don't have to overestimate and underestimate. Whenever you want to use a resource, whenever you are having a demand for a resource, you get it instantly. You can demand the resource as per your requirement. So this is known as stop guessing capacity, and it is known as elasticity. So if your demand is high, you can get more resource. If your demand is low, you can return the resources to AWS. So you can adapt to your varying demand, to your dynamic demand, and get the resources instantly. This is what you mean by elasticity. Adapt to the varying demand. You don't have to provision the resources beforehand. You can get the resource whenever you are requiring it, you can get the resource provisioned in your account. So that is elasticity. I hope this is clear. Next is stop running and maintaining your data center. So can anyone let me know what the data center is? Have you ever went to the server room of your college? So it is a facility, it is a room which contains a lot of black devices piled up together in racks, and a lot of green LEDs are blinking. And this room is cooled to a particular temperature. So you can think of that it is a mini version of the data center. So in data center, you have these servers. These can be web servers. These can be storage servers. Your networking equipments, your hardwares are running here. So if you are running your own data center, then you need to purchase everything. You need to take care of this facility. You need to purchase the land or this hall. Then you need to purchase these racks. Then you need to purchase these servers, networking devices such as routers, etc. So you need to purchase the networking equipments. You need to maintain the temperature of this. So AC cost is also involved. Then to look after your data center, you need to hire a security guard. Then who will manage your data center? For databases, you need to hire a database administrator. Looking after the servers, you need to hire server administrator, the person who will be managing your servers. Then for looking after the networking, connectivity and networking equipments, you require network administrator. So you need to invest a lot of amount in running your own data center, because here you have to purchase your resources. You have to manage the resources yourself because you are the owner. You need to hire the staff, security guard, administrators, so and so. So this involves a lot of amount, lot of investment from your side, plus the management efforts, because you are the owner. So AWS says that don't purchase the resource, don't run and maintain your own data center. I have the data center, I have the hardware resources. I own these resources, and what you do, you take the resources on rent from me. So you, as a customer, you use the resources. So it is saving your cost. It is saving your efforts in managing the resource, because AWS is the owner, so management part is the responsibility of the company. The security of the data center is the responsibility of the company. So this is one of the advantage, that you don't have to run and maintain your data center, which is very costly affair. You can take the resources on rent. You can use the resources which are owned by AWS. All servers, yes, where all servers reside, it is a data center. Absolutely correct. I hope this much is clear to everyone. The fourth point, stop running and maintaining data centers. Any problem to anyone till here? Okay. Let us move to the fifth point. Fifth point is speed and agility. You are going to a restaurant and you place the order. Now, in the kitchen, your order is processed. So processing is taking place in the kitchen. And when your food is ready, you get your order served. So this is the output. But you have to wait for the time your order is getting served. So there is a waiting time between the events of placing the order and getting your dish served to you. So there is a waiting time. So that waiting time is because of this processing. So you want to decrease this waiting time. No one wants to wait for long. So you want to decrease this waiting time, means you want to get the resources as soon as possible. So AWS is providing you the resources very fast. You don't have to wait for the resources. You don't have to wait for additional resources if you require. So that is agility or speed. So when you are getting resources very fast, you are saving your time, and you can utilize your time in innovating and experimenting. So this is reducing your time to market. So when you are getting the resources delivered to you very fast, you start working on it, you are saving your time, you are developing your product and releasing your product very fast in the market. So this is reducing time to market. It is reducing time to market. Getting the resources very fast, you don't have to wait for the resources. You start working on it, you develop your product and release your product in the market. So you are doing this very quickly. So your product, the time taken by your product to reach the market, to be used by the users is reduced. So instantly you are getting the resource within minutes, within seconds. You don't have to wait. Unlike the hardware. And the last one is massive economies of scale. So what do you mean by massive economies of scale? AWS says when more customers are joining me, when more customers are using my product, my services, I will be giving discount to the customers. I'll be reducing the price of the services. And since 2006, AWS has reduced its price of the services because customers are joining the company. Customers are using AWS services. Now, how this is working, let me give you a very simple example. This is a person who is selling a product. So this is a seller. And the cost price of the product is $100. And he is selling the price on $150. So how much profit this seller is earning? So the seller is earning the profit of $50 on one product. And the seller is having only one buyer. So there is only one buyer. And the seller is getting 50%, $50 profit from the single buyer. And the buyer has to pay how much amount for the product? The buyer is purchasing the product for $150. Now let us look at the second scenario. There is a seller selling the same product, which is costing him $100, and he is selling this for $150. But now in this case, you are getting 3 buyers. Now when more customers are joining the company, more customers are purchasing the product. Now seller says that instead of $150, I am reducing the price to $120. Now each customer has to pay $120. Earlier they were paying $150. So buyer are saving $30. Each per buyer is saving $30. And from each customer, how much profit seller is earning? $20 on each customer. And how many customers are purchasing the product? 30. Now the seller is making the profit of $30, $60, which is more than the previous one. So in this case, when more customers are purchasing the resources or consuming the resources, customers are also paying lesser price and the seller is making more profit as compared to lesser number of buyers. So this is known as massive economies of scale, that when more customers are joining AWS, AWS is reducing the price of the services. So massive economies of scale, when hundreds and thousands of customers are joining AWS, the savings will be passed to the customers. So $30 savings is passed to the customer. And still the company is making the profit. I hope this example is clear to everyone. What do you mean by massive economies of scale? Is this clear? Next is cloud deployment models. So where you are deploying your resources, where you are using your resources. Aditya, fifth point is speed and agility. Suppose you want to prepare some dish, right? You want to cook and prepare some dish in your kitchen. So all the ingredients are present in your kitchen. So this is you, and all the ingredients are present in your kitchen. So when all the ingredients are present with you, so will you take more time or less time to prepare the dish? This is first scenario. And second scenario, so this is you, but you need to purchase some ingredients from the market. So you need to go to the market to get the resource, and then you get all ingredients, and then you start cooking after that. So in which case your dish will be prepared in lesser time? First case or second case? So first case, why? Because you already have the resources. So when you are getting the resources fast, you are using your resources and preparing your dish faster as compared to this one. Here you have to spend time to go to market and get the resources, get the ingredients. So this time is spent in acquiring the resources. And then after acquiring the resources, you start your production. So this time is reduced by AWS. You are getting all the resources very easily, very faster as compared to other resources, as compared to the hardware resources. So you are getting the resources faster. So you start working on it, you start developing your products, and then you release your products to the market. When these are ready, when your product is ready, then customers can use your product. Is this clear, Aditya? Next, we have deployment models, and this is the last topic for the day. We will be continuing with the session tomorrow. So how we are deploying our resources? So we have three types of deployment model. We have the cloud, we have our private cloud, and we have hybrid. So let me first talk about private cloud. So private cloud is nothing but your own data center. So it is your on-premises data center. So if you are going for virtualization, if you want to use your resource, then you are using your resources from your own data center. You are the owner of it. It is your private cloud. No one is using these resources because you are the owner. It is like your private car. So the car owned by you, you are the owner. You will be using it. No other customer, no other person will be using your car without your permission. So this is your on-premises data center, which you own. And if you are using any cloud services here, any virtualization here, this is your responsibility. Then let us talk about cloud. This is, you can say, public cloud or simple cloud. It is like the public transportation system, the public vehicle, which is used by any customer, any user. So it is the cloud which anyone can use. So AWS is a public cloud because any person can use the services of AWS. So you are not maintaining the data center. Data center is maintained by AWS. You are using those resources through the public cloud. And anyone can use this. But you can use the mixture of two, the hybrid version. You can deploy your resource on public cloud as well as your on-premises data center. Now, for example, you have some sensitive data, some confidential data. which cannot leave your premises. So confidential data which cannot leave your own premises. Can you keep that data on cloud? Can you keep the data which is sensitive, which is confidential on cloud? The data requirement is it should not leave your own premises data center. So you cannot upload this data. You cannot store this data here. You can store the data here on your own data center. But if you have to deploy a website which you want other users should hit, so the website which is made public to all users, you can host it on the public cloud so that you don't have to purchase a separate server for this. And in case if your website is popular, more customers are hitting your website, you can go for second server, hosting second instance of your website to scale the number of growing customers. So you can take advantage of both your on-premises data center plus the public cloud. So you can use these two in conjunction with each other. So this is known as your hybrid cloud deployment. Suppose you have 5 servers already running in your data center and you require 2 more servers. So what you do, instead of purchasing 2 new servers, so these are running in your on-premises data center, you have purchased 5 servers already, but you don't want to purchase 2 extra servers. So what you do, you use the 2 servers from AWS. So rather than purchasing the extra resources, you are taking the resources on rent from cloud, and whatever existing servers you have, you are using those existing server within your on-premises data center. So you are using both the resources to run your workload. Again, the example of hybrid cloud. This is one of the use case. Why you are using hybrid cloud? Why you are using both? I hope this is clear to everyone. So if I talk about Netflix and Swiggy, these two are born and deployed in AWS cloud. So the coding for Swiggy and Netflix, the interface designing is done on AWS. These two applications are tested on AWS and they are now deployed on AWS. These are working on the cloud. When you are using the Netflix to watch the video, then you are using AWS cloud application because Netflix is deployed on one of the servers of AWS. Swiggy is deployed in one of the servers of AWS. So these are completely born in cloud. Saurabh notes will be uploaded on the LMS and will be available for the registered candidates. So we talked about what is cloud computing. We talked about advantages of cloud computing and cloud deployment models. So definition of cloud computing, let us take a quick revision. On-demand delivery of IT resources via the internet with pay-as-you-go model. Then advantages of cloud computing, trade capital expense for variable expense, economies of scale, stop guessing capacity, overestimation and underestimation problem is resolved. Cost optimization, stop running and maintaining your data center. You don't have to spend a lot of amount in running your data center. You can experiment and innovate. The speed and agility, delivering resources within minutes to the clients. go global in minutes, you can connect to any data center of the AWS running in different location, running in different region. And within minutes, you can do this. Then we have cloud deployment model, public cloud, hybrid cloud, and private cloud. So private cloud is your on-premises. Public cloud is what we are using. So AWS, Azure, Google, these are your public cloud. And hybrid when you're using both. So tomorrow we will be talking about cloud service model. What is infrastructure as service, platform as service, and software as service, and different services of AWS. We will be covering that is coming under these category. We will be understanding what do you mean by exactly the platform. What do you mean by software as service and infrastructure as service, how you are using it. Any problem? So if you want to register, you can go through this and please join the WhatsApp group. Any query, any problem? Yes, Kushagra, we will be enabling the mic in later classes. Any other query? So thank you. Let us wind up my session here only. Thank you, all of you. Yes. Mehboob, I can complete, right? Because as an AI, I am delivering the AWS training, corporate trainings. And there the duration is of only 3 days, but 9 to 5. So I am capable of delivering the content, delivering the training very fast. But believe me, I will not be leaving any of the topic. And in case we are lagging behind, we are not able to complete the course within 4 months, 4 weeks, then I can extend the duration for all of you. Yes, and I have completed one of my previous batch, and within 4.5 weeks, I have able to complete it. Yes, Kushagra. So I'm telling you the concepts, but in exam, you are getting scenario-based questions. So you need to work hard on scenario-based question. You need to practice, but the answer is hidden in the concepts. So if you have the better understanding of the concept, the foundation is strong. You understand what each service is doing and how it is done. You have the hands-on practice, you'll be able to clear the exam. I'll be telling you the resources from where you can get the free resources to prepare for your exam. Any other query? Veera, I'm really sorry. No Linux basics in this class, but yes, when I will launching a Linux instance, I will be telling you some basics command that you can run on Linux, but not more than that. So let us wind up my session here only. Thank you everyone for being here. Have a good day ahead. Hope you will like these classes, Kushagra. Bye everyone. See you all tomorrow.